Forget everything you know about cute animal families, because nature runs a literal survival boot camp where parents use high-stakes survival tests as a teaching method. Today, we look at 6 extreme animal educators who use total isolation, starvation, and tactical drops to ensure their kids actually make it to adulthood. Sea otters. To humans, sea otters look like floating plush toys. In reality, they are survival machines operating under extreme thermodynamic stress. Lacking a blubber layer, their metabolism runs 3 times faster than a human's. They must consume 25% of their body weight daily just to not freeze to death in the 35-degree Pacific waters. When a female otter gives birth, her belly becomes a floating nursery. For weeks, the pup is a living loofah. Its fur holds so much air it physically cannot sink. But floating is not swimming. Around week 4, the mother grabs her pup by the neck and dunks it straight underwater. The pup panics, flailing its paws. The mom pulls it out, lets it gasp for 1 second, and dunks it again. Dunk, pull, over and over. This is a high-stakes physics lesson forcing the pup's muscles to understand buoyancy. Once the pup learns not to drown, the mom goes hunting. She can't take a floating baby down 100 feet where sharks roam. Her solution? Organic duct tape. She wraps her baby tightly in giant bull kelp, anchoring it to the ocean floor like a furry burrito. She looks it dead in the eyes as if to say, "Don't move, killer whales are watching," and dives. If the kelp snaps, the baby drifts away forever. Cheetahs. On the Serengeti Plains, a mother cheetah raises her cubs completely alone. By month 6, the cubs are the teenage equivalent of couch potatoes, expecting fresh gazelle meat served daily. To break this entitlement, the mother initiates a brutal live-action simulation. She tracks a baby gazelle, trips it, suffocates it just enough to disorient it, and carries it back alive. She drops the dazed prey right in front of her cubs. The mom steps back, folds her paws, and watches. The cubs, possessing 0 coordination and 100% overconfidence, charge. They trip over their own paws and bite each other's tails. The gazelle, realizing its predators are idiots, simply runs away. The cubs look at their mom for help. She does not step in. She lets them go hungry. Statistics show up to 90% of cheetah cubs die before adulthood, mostly from starvation. The mother knows that if they don't learn precise intercept angles at 60 miles per hour, they become a statistic. This live prey release happens over 150 times. It is a grueling training program where failure means slow death, and the mother's only input is silent, judgmental staring. Humpback whales. A newborn humpback whale enters the world weighing a massive 1.5 tons, but intellectually, it's completely blank. Its mother has exactly 6 months to teach it the ultimate survival skill, memorizing the song, a 30-minute biological GPS map required to navigate a treacherous 3,000-mile migration. The mother turns the ocean into a non-stop, high-stakes music classroom. She doesn't just sing, she forces the calf to swim directly beneath her throat to feel the acoustic vibrations. Day and night, while dodging hunting orcas and container ships, she repeats the melody. To check if the calf is paying attention, she will abruptly stop singing mid-verse. The calf must instantly mirror the correct frequency modulation and repeat it back. If the calf messes up the pitch, the mother nudges it with her massive flipper, forcing it back into position to start the track over. It is a grueling, repetitive audio boot camp. The mother knows that if the calf fails this memory test, it is doomed. If they get separated in the deep ocean, the calf cannot ask another whale pod for directions. Every family speaks a completely different acoustic dialect. The calf must copy its mother's precise notes perfectly, or it will take a wrong turn, wander into freezing polar storms, and disappear forever. Archerfish. Young archerfish aren't born with sniper skills. They start as terrible shots who look like broken garden sprinklers. To fix this, adult archerfish run a brutal, hyper-competitive firing range where the only teaching tool is absolute starvation. The mother and school of adults force the juveniles onto the front line directly beneath an insect. The adults stand right behind them, acting as strict, silent drill sergeants. The mother watches the juvenile calculate the physics, aim, and fire a high-velocity water jet. If the youngster misses due to light refraction, the mother doesn't give a second chance. She instantly fires her own perfect shot, knocks the beetle down, and the adults trigger a massive feeding frenzy, eating the food right in front of the starving kid. The mother never feeds her offspring directly. Her educational philosophy is simple: if you fail the math, you don't eat. She forces the juveniles to repeat this agonizing process hundreds of times a day. Through this brutal deprivation, the young fish's brain is forced to rapidly calculate complex trigonometry, Snell's law, and wind resistance in milliseconds. It's a trial-by-fire system where the mother's refusal to help turns her clumsy kids into the most precise ballistic marksmen on Earth. Golden eagles. With a 7-foot wingspan and talons exerting 400 pounds of pressure per square inch, the golden eagle is the apex predator of the skies. They dive at speeds exceeding 150 miles per hour, hitting mountain goats with enough kinetic energy to knock them off cliffs. But flying at high speeds through turbulent canyon winds without hitting a granite wall requires insane aerodynamic mastery. By week 12, eagle chicks are fully grown, but have the flight experience of a brick. On graduation day, the mother stops bringing food. She stands on a nearby cliff, holding a fresh squirrel. After days of starvation, the desperate chick walks to the edge of a 1,000-foot drop. The mother flies over and straight up shoves it off the cliff. The chick plummets, spinning out of control. The mother dives alongside it, matching its speed. She waits until the very last second, with the rocky floor rushing up, before swooping underneath, catching the chick on her back and flying up. Then, she drops it again. This extreme aeroelastic training triggers a hardwired genetic reflex, forcing the chick's brain to instantly calibrate its wings. Pass on the first try, or become part of the geology. Hornbills. If you think your parents were strict, the African hornbill runs a literal avian prison boot camp. These birds nest inside sealed tree cavities with only a tiny slit for an opening. Because the chicks live in a tight, dark space for months, the mother's first and most critical lesson is a brutal rule: immediate, mandatory bathroom discipline. A single day of poor hygiene would cause fatal bacterial infections in the nest. To prevent this, the mother forces the chicks to perform high-precision ballistic defecation. The chicks must learn to back up to the tiny exit slit, aim perfectly, and shoot their waste completely out of the tree. If a chick misses and hits the wall, the mother aggressively pecks them until they get the trajectory right. The final exam happens when the chicks are fully grown, but have never seen the outside world. The mother breaks open the wall, flies out, and refuses to feed them. The teenagers are terrified of the 50-foot drop and stay inside. To force them out, the mother stands on a nearby branch, holding a juicy lizard, and literally mocks them. If they don't jump into the abyss and figure out how to open their wings in milliseconds, they starve in their childhood bedroom. It's a literal drop-or-die graduation ceremony.